Folks, today I would like to talk to you about this sin forgiveness. I'm sure that you will understand this is an extremely important topic. Many people, almost everybody, has done something or other bad in the past in their life. This is just human. It happens to almost everybody. You did something bad to your wife or husband, and that your husband or wife is no more alive, and you really feel bad, really feel bad about what happened, what you did to your husband or wife. Same thing to with your parents or children or friends and so on. If that event that or the activity that you did is really serious, like cheating your wife or husband, that event really haunts you for your life. You try to forget that by going to a church, asking for forgiveness. If you are a Catholic, you go to the father of the church and ask the sin to be forgiven, and the father says, your sins are forgiven. Jesus Christ has forgiven you. Go and live freely, be happy. And if you are a Hindu, you go to a temple, a priest does some kind of puja, and you pray to God, please forgive what I did. And also, if you are a Muslim, you pray to Allah and you ask for Allah's mercy. And such things like cheating your wife or husband or anything bad you did to your parents and so on, to ask for the forgiveness. Now, I'm sure most of you would have realized that however much, wherever you go and ask for forgiveness, that event that you did never goes away from your memory. If some similar events happen in your life, immediately the past event wakes up and haunts your memory, and you really feel bad about it. So, what to do with this? How this sins, all the sins can be forgiven? That's what I want to talk to you today. First, to understand that, for example, let's suppose you are watching a movie either in the theater or in your room, sitting on a sofa or a chair. You watch a movie on the TV screen. When you are deeply involved with that movie, there is something called attention. That attention is totally riveted in that movie. When that happens, this the I-ness inside you, that is you, you travel with that attention. Wherever the attention goes, you travel with that and totally get attached, or you become one with that event. And if there is a bad thing happens to a hero or heroine in the movie, you feel sad. Something good happens, you feel good because the I-ness inside that attention is totally riveted on the events that are happening in the movie. This is what happened when you did something bad to your wife or husband or your parents. When you do an event, you cannot perform that event activity without the attention is one with that event activity. When that happens, the I-ness inside you, the pure I, that is you go and attach with the activity that you're doing, and then you own that activity. And without that attachment, you cannot perform that activity. Now, when you watch this movie attentively, there are so many things happening around you. Scientists say that all those events are received by your five senses and they are stored in your brain, but you can never recollect them. That's because there's something called attention, as I talked to you. The I-ness, the you in that attention never get attached to that event that's taking place around you when you watch that movie attentively. Because your attention was not there, and along with that attention, you were not there in that event that's going around you. When you watch a movie attentively, you cannot recollect those events. You can recollect only those events in your life, in your brain, in which this I-ness, through the process of attention, becomes one with that activity. This is very similar to a raindrop mixing with the dirty things on the earth. Before the raindrop falls on the earth, is pure, without any dirt. But once it falls on the earth, it becomes dirty, depending upon the place of the earth. There are a lot of dirt, it becomes really dirty. It becomes one with that dirt on the earth. So that raindrop becomes dirty. The same way, if you do something bad in your life, the you in the attention was attached to that event activity, just like the raindrop. It becomes good or sad, or becomes something which has committed a sin, etc., etc. This is really what happens when you commit a sin. Small thing or a big thing, whatever it is, irrespective of the seriousness of the sin, same process takes place. Now, let's see how this event that has been stored in your brain wakes up and haunts you. You all know that when an event happens in the present, and if it is similar to something that you did in the past, similar to an event or an activity in which you think that you committed a sin or did something bad, that becomes alive and haunts you in your mind. What happens there again is this attention is turned or goes to that particular event that you did in the past, because it is similar to the current event that is taking place. And then along with that attention, you also travel. The I-ness inside that attention travels and gives life to just an information, just like in the computer memory, that event was there in your brain, then it gives life. The attention, the I-ness inside you has an extremely powerful thing. It gives life to an event that took place, which is otherwise dead because it is a past event. It gives life to that event again, and your brain or you feel that event is taking place in your brain again. You feel or you are reminded of that sin that you did. This is what happens even after you go to church or temple and ask for forgiveness. The priest in the church or the religious teacher in Hindu religion or someone in other religions too, in Islam also, will say that you don't have a strong faith in God, Jesus Christ, or a Hindu God or Allah. That's why your sins are not forgiven. They are coming and haunting. But you tried all the best that you could do. You tried to sincerely have faith in your God, and still the sins are coming back. That sinful events that you committed comes back to the present and haunts you. If you notice, you will realize that this is just a normal physical process. What happens when you travel with that attention process, then attach yourself to an event that took place in the past. It's just a normal physical neuroscientific activity. Sometimes even an event without an event that is similar to the past event in which you committed a sin, suppose there is a totally a new thing comes up. That's because in the brain, the scientist will say, neuroscientist will say, if there is an event, past event in your brain stored in some neuron cells, sometimes without even your attention going there, just by the physical process, that part of the brain gets excited for some unknown reason. And then once it gets excited, it wants your attention. Just like if there is a pain in your body, that pain seeks your attention. So your attention goes there. Same way your attention goes to the past event that got excited in your brain. And then along with that attention, you are traveling to that event and you give life to that event. This is exactly what happens in almost all cases in human beings. It's just a physical process, a neuroscientific process. How to get forgiveness, sin forgiveness, or how to make this past event powerless. If you understand this, you inside that attention is totally innocent. It has never done on its own anything bad. It never committed any sin. Just like the pure water raindrop, it's very pure. Only when it gets attached to the dirt on the earth, or an event or activity it seemed to have performed, and in that I, the pure I, gets attached to that particular activity, it feels impure, it feels guilty, it feels that it has committed a serious sin. Otherwise, that I-ness inside that attention is as pure as the I-ness inside a newborn child. If you notice, even the newborn child, when something happens, its attention goes there. But that attention is not strong enough in the early stage. That's why all those events are not remembered by a child. The same thing happens when you are grown up. That I is always, the I-ness inside that attention process is always pure. And when you realize this, you will realize once for all that I-ness inside you can never be sinful. It's always pure. And whatever you did can never come back and haunt you. But if you are very cunning in the sense that there is something called cunningness inside your brain. It is said to be very cunning. For example, to repeat the same thing again and again, thinking that, oh, I know now how to sin, how to forgive my sin myself. So, if this pure I, along with the attention process, goes and attaches itself, that cunningness in your brain, and do any sinful activity, you will realize that your attachment to that cunningness center in your brain will not allow you to forgive your sin. So you have to be careful. You cannot be very cunning. So that is exactly is what I want to talk to you folks. So basically, the I-ness inside this attention thing is always pure, extremely pure, can never be called a sinful one. It's always pure. When you realize this, the God's the love inside that golden light will always engulf you. It will make you extremely joyful. It will make you one of the most lovable person, not a sinful person, most loving person in the world. So realize this and be free of all the sins and be joyful. And that's what I want to talk to you folks. Talk to you soon on another important topic.